has 4 wins under his belt, and James Thompson's 3 victories and regular podium visits are keeping him in touch with the Frenchman.
Winning races is great, but I mean, I'm not really where I want to be at the moment. Being second in the championship's not sort of what I've got my eye on. So, but it's very close. I mean, Ivan and I have managed to pull away from everybody else.
We have to progress even more to keep the pressure on the progress of the car. The problem now, this car starts to be old, so we wait the new car to have the next step.
Competition racing with Halfords, this year using Honda Civics, have propelled the experienced Matt Neal to 2 wins in the first half of the season, and Dan Eves got in on the act at Alton Park, claiming his first ever victory. Newcomers Sayat took no time at all to make their impact. Former champion Jason Plato scored his first of 2 wins in round 2 at Thruxton, while star rookie Rob Huff has proved both aggressive and competitive, with 2 podium finishes of his own.
There's lots to improve, but nothing that we're kind of kicking ourselves that we haven't done enough already. I mean, we're on target, we're achieving more than we wanted to at this point in the year, so we're still smiling.
Losing Works MG backing at the start of the year has not stopped WSR from competing at the highest level. Anthony Reid has notched up 6 podium finishes, and last time out at Mondello Park, Colin Turkington claimed the team's first win of the season.
This MG is now the best car on the circuit, that's what I believe. So really we've got to get 100% reliability and score strongly in all the remaining races this year.
So after 18 races, Ivan Muller led James Thompson by just 3 points, but both Anthony Reid and Jason Plato had been showing very strongly in recent events.
So that brings us up to date. Start of this weekend's events. Now, race 1 took place earlier on today, and to bring us up to speed, we'll rejoin our commentators Tim Harvey and Ben Edwards.
We're all set for the start of round 19 of the Green Flag MSA British Touring Car Championship from Scotland, and it's a Scotsman on pole position in the MG. Anthony Reid gets a great start. Not such a good start from Tom Chilton, but I think it might be enough to hold second. Yes, he slots in front of Colin Turkington. James Thompson is in 4th place. There's a spin in the middle. That's Carl Breeze in the Alpha. James Kay takes to the grass to avoid him, and Carl Breeze rejoins, so that could have been chaos, but thankfully I think they've got through it safely, and no one has collected the Alfa Romeo. Oh, somebody is off, and that might have been as a result, I'm not sure, of what was going on. The marker posts get taken out straight away there at the chicane as Rob Huff attacks James Thompson and tries to get past 4th, and he's trying to go around the outside of Clark Curve. A brave place to try it. He's on the grass, and he's through the banner, and he loses places as a result, and Rob Huff is demoted.
Well, we've seen Rob Huff make some bold moves, but that was a little bit daft, that one. He was never going to get around the outside. Always he was going to get pushed on the dirt. He's now lost his splitter and compromised his race.
Well, Luke Hines' car still in the pits, so problems for his car. Anthony Reid leads, but look at Tom Chilton. Chilton is chasing the MG. He's right there with him. So we've got a battle for the lead here between Anthony Reid and Tom Chilton. Opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to age, of course. Anthony Reid, 47 years old, and Tom Chilton, 19 years old. Look at Ivan Muller here. Ivan Muller keeping the pressure on Dan Eves, currently running in 6th place, with the top 3 are all closed up together once more, and Chilton keeps the pressure on Anthony Reid as Luke Hines rejoins.
Yes, don't know what the problem was there, but what a great battle up at the front here. Chilton looks really busy. Oh, no, little bit of a hold up here. This is the problem. You can attack the car in front, but straight away you have to defend from the car behind. Look at Chilton now. He's got to defend. This gives Reid an opportunity to break away, but 3 abreast into the hairpin.
Fantastic stuff. Thompson's trying to go around the outside here, but on the inside is Colin Turkington. Chilton doesn't know which way to go, but he does a great job there. He doesn't squeeze anybody out, and he's still got the place. Turkington's on his inside. Oh, there's a touch there between Turkington and Chilton as Chilton shut the door. But where's Thompson going? Thompson's going to go around the outside. He's trying to take 2nd place around the outside into Duffer's Dip. Oh, that's a great move from James Thompson. He's got past Chilton, and he's got in front into backing tyres. Across the grass they go, and James Thompson's in 2nd.
That was a brilliant move and a very brave one. Let's not forget, that's where James Thompson had a massive accident years ago, concussed him and putting out of racing for several months. So that was a really brave effort. Here's a replay at the start. Everyone getting away fairly evenly at the front. Chilton moves straight across to try and block Turkington. Further back, let's look for the incident between Carl Breeze. Oh, you can just see there, he gets turned around. I think it was by one of the Protons, Farik Harriman, and everybody else just does well. No, I think it was Rob Collard. Just does well to miss him, but for some reason James Kay just pulls straight off. Maybe there was a breakage there in the suspension.
Possibly, yeah. Let's see what's going on here. James Thompson still under pressure here. Rob Huff is pulling into the pits. Rob Huff into the pits, so he has problems, presumably as a result of running wide out of that Clark curve when he tried to go past Thompson. There he is, Huff into the pits. Look at this great battle. Turkington through. Oh, great move from Colin Turkington. Physical stuff, but he did it cleanly. That was a great move from Colin Turkington, and it's put him into third.
That was a good move. He's been looking up the inside there for several laps because Chilton takes a very direct attacking approach to McIntyre's, and it makes him slow out of the corner. Here we see it again. Well, we missed the approach to the corner, but he left the door wide open there, and that little bit of course cutting there by Chilton is not working in his favour, as unlike some of the other corners where he is making time.
Well, we've still got a great battle going on here. James Thompson versus Colin Turkington. Thompson now in danger of losing that second place. They almost made contact. There was a bit of rubbing going around the hairpin, and now heading down towards Duffers Tip. Chilton's going to try and make it 3 abreast. Turning in there, Chilton just tucks into place. Turkington takes second. It's MG 1 and 2 here at Knockhill, and that was great hard racing again from Colin Turkington. Thompson's demoted to third.
Well, Turkington, we've seen him come alive usually in the last race there. Wow, look at the difference in line between Chilton. It's going to work for him this time. That was really good. He carried good speed through the chicane, straight line as only he seems to do, and it just carried him past Thompson, and Thompson's lost 2 places on this lap. But yes, hats off to Turkington for getting through and looking racy in the first race for an MG 1-2.
There is Reed versus Turkington down the hill towards McIntyre's. The 2 MGs have a massive advantage.
Turkington's caught up the gap to Reed, but I'm sure on this last lap he's not going to spoil a fantastic 1-2 for MG. This is the last lap, but he has caught up and he's looked very fast this week in this race with fastest lap as well. And Thompson and Muller running around, but there may just be a little bit to play for that 10th place, I fancy.
Well, it's been a fantastic outing for WSR, for Anthony Reed and Colin Turkington. We were chatting to John Cleland earlier on today, Tim, and John, who keeps a wary eye on touring cars, says over the last year or so he's been extremely impressed by young Colin Turkington. He sees him as a real star, not only of the future but of now, perhaps, in touring cars. But it's his teammate who wins. It's Anthony Reed who wins. Turkington finishes second. That completes his finishing record of every race this year, and Chilton gets a fine third. Thompson takes fourth, Muller takes 5th place, and Dan Eaves is going to come home 6th. But who will finish in 10th? Well, Jason Hughes would love the chance to finish 10th himself, and Rob Collard's going to do it. No, Jason Plato does it perfectly. He finishes in 10th. That means that Plato starts on pole position for race 2, and Matt Neal will start on 2nd place. So Anthony Reed won the first race of the day, but Colin Turkington was demoted to 4th place. Apparently he passed under yellow flag, so he doesn't get second. That goes to Tom Chilton. James Thompson finished in 3rd place. Good 5th place for Ivan Muller. Jason Plato 10th will start on pole, and Jason Hughes just missed out on that opportunity.
Now, I'm pleased to say that the sun has shone since that first race, and I'm here with Matt Neal, who finished 9th but obviously starts in 2nd because of the reverse grid system. Matt, did you have a good first race there?
Well, unfortunately, we had to play the SEAT card and play it tactically after the dramas we had in qualifying.
Now, tell us what happened in qualifying, because you had a bit of a nasty shunt.
Yeah, we're on a hot lap in the second half of the session, and unfortunately, Tomo blew his engine going through the next thing the chicane, and was still on the circuit. And I came through, and the cars, if not airborne, are very unweighted. Came through the chicane, hit the oil, just slid down the circuit, and unavoidable. Couldn't avoid him, and it was a big hit for both me and Jimmy.
Now, what was the damage on the car?
Fortunately for me, it hit the A-pillar, which is quite a strong area of the car, but it creamed the back of the Astra of beauty.
And what was it actually like for you in here? Because it must have been a pretty whopping impact.
I'm not sure whether it was bigger for me or Jimmy, because I could see the impact coming, but Jimmy was sat there not realising, and he just suddenly got a big whack from behind.
But no damage to the car, and it seems to be handling quite well?
Well, yeah, I think now the heat's risen, all the Hondas might struggle a little bit with the tyre wear, but we're at the front, which is the place to be, and it's going to be hard to overtake around here, so I'm going to go for it.
Lovely, thank you very much. Now then, stay with us for Race 2 Live, and we'll see you after the break.
Sponsored by Green Flag Motoring Assistance, getting you back on track.
Suzuki Grand Vitara. 14,995.
Before you buy car insurance from just anyone, just keep asking yourself one question. Could I get a better deal with the AA? Because last year the AA could have saved you up to £199 on your car insurance. Why not see what you could save? Before you buy car insurance from just anyone, just ask. Call 0800 294 7777 or buy online.
If you're already using Optimax unleaded, you'll know the difference it can make. The extra power to respond safely just when you need it. But then what else would you expect from the only fuel developed with Ferrari?
Sure for Men Active Response kicks in extra protection, keeping you fresh all day long. It won't let you down.
Ready, nimble, quick, now. Productive, proactive, collected, connected. Responding to change. In the air, everywhere. Swift, in sync, in step, as one. Before noon, before 6, before the other guy. In other words, on-demand business from IBM.
Last night, Jenna made a wish, and suddenly she was 30. Jennifer Garner is 13 going on 30.
The waiting is over. The football season is back, and so is the winner. More football, more big names, more coverage. SPL, SFL, Junior, Highland Premiership and European action. Don't miss the new look 24-page winner, free inside the Daily Record every Monday. Good morning.
First, there was the tornado. Now there's Tsunami, Scotland's first inverted roller coaster. Only at M&B's, Strathclyde Country Park, Motherwell.
Here we go.
Uncle Ben's long grain rice. Cook it with passion. Come on, add some.
Sponsored by Green Flag Motoring Assistance.
Welcome back to Knockhill, and the cars just making their way round on the final formation lap for the second race of the day. Absolutely glorious sunshine we have now. It was so murky and misty here at Knockhill this morning. It delayed the start of the support races, but it's absolutely ideal conditions now for the start of round 20 of the Green Flag MSA British Touring Car Championship. And let's take a look now at how it lines up. Jason Plato starts on pole position. Can he do what he did at Croft last time out and win not only the second race of the day, but the third as well? Matt Neal lines up alongside him on the front row. Rob Collard, independent champion from last year, he lines up on the second row with Sean Watson-Smith in the Proton. They're withdrawing at the end of this year, but they're up for some good results now. The third row sees Dan Eves and Ivan Muller. Let's see whether the Frenchman can pull something out of the bag this time. Colin Turkington lines up 7th after the penalty that pushed him down to 4th after the first race. James Thompson will line up next to him, and then it's Tom Chilton, who now has inherited 2nd for that first race, but he's been very fast all weekend, the youngster, and he's got the experienced Anthony Reid alongside, carrying full ballast now, but he did win earlier. Jason Hughes lines up 11th on the grid. John George in the LPG-powered Peugeot, he's 12th on the grid. Behind him, it's James Kay. He's been a bit out of luck so far this weekend. Richard Marsh next to him in the privateer Honda Civic. Then it's the VX Racing Vauxhall Astra of Luke Hines, Carl Breeze in the Alfa Romeo, and the last two on the grid, Farik Harriman in the second of the Protons, and Rob Huff. Now that could be a story, the second Seat coming through from the back of the grid, Tim. It's not going to be easy for him around Knockhill, but we've got to keep an eye on him.
Knockhill, a very difficult circuit to overtake, a reverse grid. The situation is set for some very exciting racing as they line up on the grid. Once again, only the front two rows on a level track.
So that's the view from onboard Ivan Muller. I wonder whether the Frenchman is going to be able to pull something out the bag. Let me just tell you, after the first race, with the changes that were made to the results, James Thompson has a 1-point advantage in the championship. And Anthony Reid, that little bit closer. He's still 37 points behind, but you never know. We've still got a lot of races to go in this year's championship. We're getting all ready for the start. It's going to be Jason Plato versus Matt Neal from the front row. Plato makes an excellent start in the Seat. Matt Neal slots into second place. Rob Collard going well. He's up into third and being chased at the moment by Dan Eves into the first corner. Duffer's Dip, it drops steeply downhill to the right here, back to the left and into McIntyre's, and Jason Plato has made the perfect getaway from that pole position. He dropped down to 10th place in race one to earn it, and now he's going to make the most of it.
Well, after his success at winning the second and third races in previous meetings, everybody else has cottoned on. The team dynamics in the competition with Halford's Hondas, they say they've played it careful in the first race. We'll now see if they've got real pace from Matt Neal and Dan Eves to challenge Plato.
Across the curve they come out of Clark Curve, and it's still Plato who leads. Matt Neal in second place. Rob Collard holding on well at the moment. Dan Eves has got past Sean Watson-Smith. Then it's Ivan Muller and James Thompson, the two VX Racing teammates who are battling for the championship, very close together. And they've got one of the MGs in there. I think it's Anthony Reid trying to get past James Thompson. He's on the inside as they head up towards Duffer's Dip and head down into the right hand. In fact, it's Turkington on the inside there, and he gets through past James Thompson.
That was a great move. He set that up down at the hairpin, got a good drag out of it. That's where he incurred the penalty in the first race for passing Thompson under a yellow flag and demoted him back down the grid. But he is still carrying the success ballast that he would have finished with in second place.
Couple of cars running wide, kicking up the dust, but Jason Plato is keeping to the tarmac and just onto the curve on the exit of the corners. Ivan Muller now trying to get past Sean Watson-Smith. We go on board with the Frenchman. He's on the outside now. They're coming to the slowest corner, the Taylor's hairpin. It's hard on the brakes here. Down to first gear to scrabble around. He's still trying to go around the outside, but Sean Watson-Smith in that Proton is keeping the speed up. Oh, they almost bashed door handles there. Now hitting up high up the hill. It's a lot of acceleration required from the engine before they level off here and get into the braking zone for the first corner.
Every time Muller does this, he's taking the championship in his hands. He can't risk a non-finish, and there he concedes to Sean Watson-Smith, who gets very sideways, not once but twice, as they approach McIntyre's. Now there's four cars all amongst each other.
Yeah, and Tom Chilton's joined out. Thompson's off. Thompson's been tapped by somebody. Can he get back on circuit? I'm not sure. Yes, well, he might do. Yeah, there he is. He's got back on in front of James Cave, and he's lost a lot of time. Sean Watson-Smith, Ivan Muller, then it's Colin Turkington, then it's Tom Chilton, Anthony Reid, and Thompson's dropped a lot of places.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate tap from behind, but the grass is so rough, it just ripped his splitter off. Has it damaged the radiators? That's what put Rob Huff out of the first race. It'll certainly compromise his speed. Muller's fighting back, and this time he may have the inside on Watson-Smith, but that Proton's very quick on the straights.
It is fast in a straight line. Look how it accelerates away out of that hairpin, up the hill, across the finish line, and 3 laps completed. It's Jason Plato still leading this race from Dan Eves, from Rob Collard. Matt Neal, sorry, in second place, then Collard, then Eves. Tom Chilton coming through there. Watch out for that black Honda because it's been fast all weekend. Take another look at this.
Well, Chilton's just looking up the inside of Thompson on the exit from McIntyre's. That's where he got past in the first race, and it just isn't enough room. And he tags Thompson, slides him sideways.
Now, Sean Watson-Smith still there, wide line than Muller there, and that could have cost the Proton a bit of time. Muller will try and take advantage of that with a bit more momentum build-up. But here we are, same situation, about 120 miles an hour in top gear as they head down here. Muller looks to the inside, but Sean Watson-Smith has it covered. Trying to go around the outside is Colin Turkington, and he's made this trick work a couple of times. There's a little bit of nerving again, but still Muller cannot get past Sean Watson-Smith.
No, and the problem is he's attacking and then having to defend at the same time. And look at this, Turkington on one side, Chilton looking up the other, getting very close.
Dan Dan Eves having a go at getting past Collard for third as well. Muller just keeps Turkington behind him. Turkington with the red strip across the windscreen in the black and silver MG is driving brilliantly, but he can't find a way past former champion, or reigning champion, Ivan Muller. Behind him is Tom Chilton. Chilton in the number 9 car, the Honda, had a great result in the first race, ended up finishing second after Turkington was demoted, and Chilton has been using the curbs like no one else here this weekend.
Through that chicane, Tom Chilton is the fastest car on the track. He's absolutely got that corner nailed. Marker poster down, and he just flies up the inside. Oh, disaster for Carl Breeze and the GA Motorsport Alpha.
Yeah, it's end of race for that car, I'm afraid, but back on board with Ivan Muller. This is the situation we've seen for a couple of laps now. He gets a better exit from the hairpin, but loses out in straight line speed. But now look, side by side. Meanwhile, Danny's trying to get past Collard, and Muller is past. Muller has got ahead of Sean Watson-Smith just behind. There he is, look, the Vauxhall ahead of the Proton. And now it's the MG of Colin Turkington trying to do the same. The South African driving that Proton, doing a brilliant job. It's his job to try and hold on to his position. He's not doing anything wrong. He's placing the car well, and it's up to them to find a way past.
Absolutely, he's racing for position, and he will fight for every one of them, but they're going to gang up on him. Turkington will want to pass as quickly as possible so as not to let Muller get away. Reed is patiently waiting at the back of this queue. He's only moved up 1 place from his starting position of 10th, and he's not out of this championship, so he'll want to score good points.
Here comes Colin Turkington trying the outside route once again, but he's got to watch out, Reed! Yeah, Anthony Reed, oh no, there's contact there between Chilton and Turkington. Reed almost collected them, and somehow they're all still going.
It's such a tight corner, that is, and Chilton trying to look up the inside, Reed looking up inside of him, and nearly at the tip. Oh, and that's Turkington with steering problems.
Yeah, that car's crabbing. It's not looking healthy at all. Reed then, and Tom Chilton. Look at Rob Huff. Rob Huff has joined the party from, remember, he started right at the back in the Seat, and he's now there with Tom Chilton. He's in 10th place. That's been a good drive so far from Rob Huff. How many more can he get past? His teammate Jason Plato leads this race again, right over the curbs, all on the grass there. Let's just take a look again at that last little incident.
This is an on-board with Anthony Reed as they go down the back straight from Clark to the hairpin. Watch in front. Reed is looking for an opportunity. Chilton is looking for an opportunity and dives up the inside. There's Turkington on the outside. Reed slams up the inside, moves Chilton out, and then Chilton hits Turkington, and that breaks his suspension.
Yeah, here was another look at it again. Turkington on the outside. Reed went for the late lunge, hit Chilton. That knocked Chilton into Turkington. So Reed was almost the cause of his teammate going out of this race. But thankfully, well, in fact, Turkington has gone out, hasn't he? Because we know he's limping round, and I think... Oh, look at that, Chilton! Nearly over.
Well, so close to rolling over there. Chilton, that's short wheelbase little car, the Honda, and he's been riding the curves, but that time he just launched it up in 2 wheels, stunts fashion. Well, that was so close to disaster.
Well, I saw that a couple of times in qualifying yesterday. He had it up on 2 wheels. He is not scared. He is so committed. Look at this again. Over the curve, up it went. And I tell you what, he did that a few times in qualifying yesterday, but fantastic commitment from Tom Chilton. There is our race leader. It is Jason Plato, coming up to complete 8 laps this time around out of the 22. He has a lead of 1.6 seconds over Matt Neal. Third place is Rob Collard, holding on to third. That's a fantastic effort. Behind him is Dan Eves, and heading down towards Duffers Dip. We're on board there briefly with Jason Plato. Now we're looking at Rob Huff, and he's getting past. He's got past Tom Chilton. Chilton with bits of bodywork trailing, and the Seat is through.
Well, good driving from Rob Huff right from the back. He made a nonsense of the first race with an ambitious overtaking manoeuvre, but he's showing... Oh, and Muller slipped through as well. Chilton's car is definitely not handling as well as it was at the start of the race. That's Turkington's car being pushed away. You can see the right rear wheel pointing at a very odd angle.
Yeah, so suspension damage on that car, I'm afraid. And now look at this. Luke Hines in there with Tom Chilton. He's got past Tom Chilton. Muller's still running in 5th place, but James Thompson is down in 13th position after that problem he had. And in fact, Thompson's come into the pits. Thompson now into the pits. Take another look at this a moment ago. That was Hines, in fact. It was Hines getting through past Chilton and just squeezing his way past. Fairly aggressive manoeuvre, but it worked well, and that put him through and gained a position. So Hines now running in 9th place, Chilton in 10th. but this is the race for third place, and Dan Eves has now got ahead of Rob Collard, and right behind Collard now is Frenchman Yvan Muller. James Thompson led the championship by 1 point before this race. He's going to lose it again to Yvan Muller if Muller stays where he is.
This race was always going to, Knockhill was always going to provide the action, and it certainly has in this second race. This is Anthony Reid up the inside of Watson Smith.
So Anthony Reid has gained 6th place. He's in 6th position. He's now going to go chasing after Yvan Muller, but there's a big gap between himself and Muller. Muller's managed to ease away from this group, and there we are. There's Muller and that next group, and now trying to get past Rob Collard. That's the gap back to Reid. Watson Smith and Huff. Little contact there between Rob Huff and Watson Smith. They're still side by side as they come up the hill. Both these cars have strong engines. That's Sayat. Very quick in a straight line. Look at Muller. He muscles his way past Collard. Yvan Muller is into 4th place, and this could be a crucial race in the championship. Thompson is out. Muller could be on for some very useful points here. Looking back from Anthony Reid at Rob Huff, and Huff now trying to take 6th place away from the man who won the first race and is carrying maximum ballast in that MG.
Look how fast Huff comes through that corner. Such a different line, and he's forced Reid to defend to the inside into Clark. Thompson is going round, but he's not going to get any points. Collard's retiring.
Collard in trouble, and now look at this, Reid going through with Huff side by side. They've got past Collard, so Collard drops down the order, but Huff so fast in a straight line. Can Anthony Reid come back up the inside? He's going to try, yes. Oh, that's clever racing, but he's lost it on the exit of the corner. Don't know what happened there, almost as though he missed a gear, but something happened, and Reid loses outperformance on the way up the hill, and Huff now has got himself into 6th position, and it's now 5th place. In fact, Hines right behind him, Reid, Watson Smith, as we look back at Watson Smith from Anthony Reid's car.
Anthony Reid, as you say, I think he missed the gear. He's braking so hard and turning, he probably couldn't quite get it down in the first gear and was slow out of the hairpin, and then got jumped by Huff, who's driven brilliant, got up to 5th place now.
Well, this is touring car racing at its best, and after a 2-year break from Knockhill, it's fantastic to see them back here. Rob Collard sadly retired because he was on for a great result, the Independents, who won the championship for privateers last year. We gather he may be coming back out on circuit, but of course he won't be scoring many points as a result of all this. Now, there's Jason Plato. It's 1.9 seconds his advantage over Matt Neal and Dan Eves. The two Hondas here, Tim, running very, very well, aren't they, behind the Sayat of Plato?
They are running well. They had that tactical first race to give them good grip position, of course, and not too much ballast either. So I had expected them to give the Sayat to Jason Plato a slightly stronger run. They'll be pleased with 2nd and 3rd, but Matt Neal only knows one way to race. He wants to win races.
But Jason Plato, we're riding on board with the former champion, and you know, when he came here a couple of years ago, back in 2001, he helped Vauxhall, in those days he was driving for them, wrap up the manufacturer's title that year with successes here at Knockhill. And Jason happy to be back in Scotland, leading this race, looking for his 5th win of the season, and that could be more than anybody else, including all the Vauxhall drivers. So Sayat's campaign very much on track, their first season in the British Championship, and they are working their way very cleverly up the championship table. There in 2nd place is Matt Neal, Dan Eves in 3rd, and then Yvan Muller in 4th position. And of course Yvan Muller's just counting those championship points that he can gain here. Even if he stays in 4th place, it'll be an 8 points.
Chilton is retiring.
Yeah.
That car just too badly damaged now to continue. He's been fighting a rear guard action. He's actually had James Kane, the other Honda, the Synchro Honda, the 3rd of the Hondas out there, catch him up, and it looks like he's just got too much damage there, probably to the inlet to the engine.
Great disappointment. He's driven brilliantly well and attacked this circuit with gusto, I have to say. There's Sean Watson-Smith now with James Kay right behind him, on board with Yvan Muller. What a fantastic shot, looking straight into the eyes of Yvan. He's in 4th place, remember. He's a little bit behind Dan Eves, but he can focus on scoring those 8 points that will put him 7 ahead of his big rival James Thompson in the championship.
Well, he may look very calm inside the car, but I can assure you his heart beats up around the 180-200 mark. He so desperately wants points from these races. He wants to get a clear gap if he can in the championship lead, but I still think there's a lot to go. It may not have been James Thompson's race this time, but it may be next. Such is the nature of this close racing.
Now he's coming up to that tricky chicane here, Tim. Talk us through it.
Well, he's going through the little dip. Now he's aiming at the chicane. Well, we didn't stay on board. He's actually driving quite a cautious line there. He's obviously decided not to attack too hard and save the car. There's not too much time between races. The last thing he wants to do is give the mechanics a problem. But he's still trying to just hope the race comes to him, hope his tyres last the distance better than Dan Eves, the man in front.
14 laps have been completed out of the 22, two-thirds distance then, and still Ivan Muller chasing after Dan Eves in the Honda. The two orange Hondas there. It's Plato, though, that leads in the yellow Seat. Second place is Matt Neal, and that gap up to 2.4 seconds now, although Matt Neal's a bit faster than Plato on that last lap. Plato really just controlling the pace of this race. We look back from Muller, we can see there is Rob Huff, and what a drive this is, because he started from the back, and we're just taking a look back at what happened a few moments ago. Farik Harriman, well, he's damaged a few splitters throughout the course of 2004, and that's another one to add to the pile.
Absolutely, as I said, that grass very bumpy, very rough, and any trip onto the grass is going to rip the splitter straight off.
So Farik Harriman bouncing his way across the grass. His teammate here, Sean Watson-Smith, still in the top 10. He's in 8th place, so this would almost match one of his best results of the year. He had a 7th earlier on this season. Would get him back into the points once again. And there we are on board with Matt Neal, the tall man, crouched up over the steering wheel, but he gets some performance out of these touring cars.
Well, he's driven like that. It may look uncomfortable, but he's had absolutely no choice. At 6'3", he's had no choice but to drive all his life like that, with his knees up around his earlugs. So he's really got used to it.
Well, heading down towards McIntyre's. This gives us a great view of the circuit and the curves as they get used. Here we are, up to that chicane again.
Yep, the car compresses down. It's completely blind, as you can see. You just line the car up, fire it through there, try and get on a steady throttle to keep the car pointing in the right direction, and then immediately you're down to this next corner, Clark, which again rises over a crest.
Yeah, now he's building up the speed up to 6th gear as they accelerate along this section and towards Taylor's hairpin, and then from about just under 120 miles an hour all the way down the gears until they come down to about 40 miles an hour around here. And this long hill doesn't maybe look so much on camera, but it's quite a steep climb.
It's a steep climb from 1st all the way up to 6th. Oh, and the safety car is out. This is going to compress the whole field. This is Jason Plato's nightmare. This is what happened to him at Mondello Park, and as soon as that happened, the field closed up and he was absolutely annihilated on the restart.
So Jason Plato leads, Matt Neal is in 2nd, Dan Eves is in 3rd. There's plenty more action to come from Knockhill.
Sponsored by Green Flag Motoring Assistance, the breakdown specialists.
I'm sure they'll call.
She's bound to call soon, son.
Don't worry. He'll call in a while.
It's not someone else they're waiting for. It's you. Scotland needs you to give blood. Whether you've never given before or just haven't given for a while, call 0845 9090 999.
Before you buy car insurance from just anyone, just keep asking yourself one question. Could I get a better deal with the AA? Because last year, the AA could have saved you up to £199 on your car insurance. Why not see what you could save? Before you buy car insurance from just anyone, just ask. Call 0800 294 7777 or buy online.
Mr. Weinstein will be with you in a moment, Miss Aguilera.
That's killing me, man.
That's Christina Aguilera.
Where?
Oh, look what she's doing, man.
Woo! Look at hello, I got something for you.
Pop diva Christina Aguilera has been spotted making a different kind of music.
We did that. We did that.
The devil makes work for idle thumbs. Text another Virgin Mobile for 3p.
When you have a cold sore, don't hide away. Fight the virus that causes cold sores with Zavirax Cold Sore Cream. With its antiviral formula, it can cut healing time by up to half. Zavirax. Nothing works faster. Pick it up in store now.
The waiting is over. The football season is back, and so is the winner. More football, more big names, more coverage. SPL, SFL, Junior, Highland Premiership and European action. Don't miss the new look 24-page winner, free inside the Daily Record every Monday. Good morning.
Dad, look. That's the car I want.
Oh, really? How much?
That much.
Cost. How much does it cost?
The Peugeot 206 Zest from just $7,995 with 1 year's free insurance.
Sponsored by Green Flag Motoring Assistance, the breakdown specialists.
Up the hill towards the chicane, and Jason Plato has just taken the green flag, and he's leading here from Matt Neal. Dan Eves in third place, fourth place Ivan Muller, and then Rob Huff in fifth position. Jason, I don't think, was very happy about the safety car coming out, but nonetheless, he's maintained the lead. Somebody very wide on the grass there, that's John George in the Peugeot.
Yes, on the restart, Jason Plato managed to get away, but he's got both those Computiche with Halfords Hondas right behind him. This is where Matt Neal often gets into his stride when he's got a sniff of victory. But look at that man, Rob Huff, who started right at the back and is now in fifth place with a very fast Seat underneath him.
Across the line they come this time. That's 20 laps completed out of the 22. Jason Plato still in control across the line with about 0.4 of a second over Matt Neal. Dan Eves in third, Ivan Muller still there as well. And remember, James Thompson not going to score any points at all after ending this race in the pits. And Plato does not seem to be under too much trouble here, even though he's got Matt Neal. But what about Rob Huff? Rob Huff might have a chance here of getting past Ivan Muller. He's got down the inside into Clark. He's hit him. Slid into him slightly there. Could have damaged the Vauxhall steering. Huff onto the grass. And that's pretty dramatic stuff. But Huff now in fourth position.
Well, I mean, Ivan Muller will not like that one bit. He doesn't like anybody racing him too closely when he's going for the championship. He's fighting back. Rob Huff may have some damage to his car. What a shame. He's driven brilliantly. He got a good run. He's got to run through the chicane. He's gone up the inside, trying to make a clean pass and get alongside, but locked the brakes up a fraction and ran into Ivan.
So Jason Plato into Duffer's Dip. Matt Neal that bit closer. We're on to the last lap now. And Luke Hines now getting down the inside of Rob Huff. So Rob Huff dropping back again. And
the race distance is 24 laps, so they've got a couple more laps to go because of the safety car incident. Rob Huff now finding himself pushed backwards as he fights to keep his car under control. That line through the chicane, very quick. He's got another run here on the MG. This is a carbon copy replay. This time he's safely through. And he's back past Reed.
Oh, it's so tight between all of them. Anthony Reed now, after winning earlier on, trying to come back at him. But Jason Plato still with the edge over Matt Neal and Dan Eves. These three cars having broken away again from Ivan Muller. On board with Anthony. And Anthony Reed trying to go all the way around the outside of Rob Huff. Can't be done. Luke Hines just ahead of them. And Huff versus Hines, two of the youngsters in the Touring Car Championship this year, making their names. And Anthony Reed right behind them, hoping to perhaps get past them in the remainder of this race. So now there are just 2 laps to go. My mistake on that, now that they've added the safety car laps onto the race distance. And down the hill they come, and Hines with Rob Huff trying to go around his outside, but it can't happen.
Here comes Matt Neal mounting a last couple of lap challenge. This is what the Jason Plato didn't want. He didn't want to be under pressure with the last couple of laps on. I think his best chance of passing is into the hairpin, but he's may leave that to the last lap. The Honda is quick on the straight, but so is the Seat.
Yeah, fast in a straight line. Plato is able to just ease away a touch as he comes down towards the hairpin, and then onto the brakes, down to first gear once again. And Plato, who won the last 2 races at Croft, now looking to add to that tally even more. Up the hill he comes with the 2 Hondas chasing. I wonder if he's going to be able to do it twice again today. We've got another race still to go here today, don't forget. And we're going to have that live here on ITV, 4 o'clock this afternoon. At the moment, though, Jason is in control, but Matt Neal's that touch closer, and this really is the last lap now. And Matt Neal having a little look, or Plato having to defend now. He's got some work to do if he's to hold the these two Hondas back.
Plato needs to drive a perfect second half of this lap. There's really this last but one corner clock. He must execute this perfectly to get a good run down to the hairpin to avoid Matt Neal getting a chance to pass. He looks to have done it well. The Seat power will carry him through. Will he defend the inside, or is he confident he's got enough pace?
Well, this is the last time they come down to the hairpin, so Matt Neal is running out of opportunities. He's not going to make the lunge. He knows that there's a third race to come. He does not want to damage the car, and all three of them are driving cleanly. They want their cars in one piece. They will start up front for the third race of the day, but they win. Jason Plato wins at Knockhill. Second goes to Matt Neal. Third to Danny's. There's Rob Huff's father, Peter, cheering his man home because Rob Huff finished in 6th place, but Luke Hines finished 5th, and that was a good run from him. Sean Watson-Smith in 8th place behind Anthony Reid, and what an amazing race that was. Brilliantly driven by Jason Plato, but with action throughout.
There was some fantastic touring car racing in there. I have to take my hat off to Plato. I didn't think he'd be able to hold the Hondas behind, but he drove really well, and behind it was action aplenty with everybody fighting for positions. Muller will be relieved to have finished 4th.
Well, I tell you what, there are thousands of people here at Knockhill today, and they have just witnessed a classic touring car race. There's no doubt about it. And in fact, I gather that this is the biggest crowd of the century. In other words, since 2000. That's a pretty impressive turnout of people here at Knockhill in beautiful weather conditions, and they've just witnessed a race that is what touring cars is all about, Tim, and this track seems to bring that to this kind of racing.
Absolutely. I mean, the drivers love this track. It always makes great racing. You can pass here, we've seen it, especially if you're prepared to rub just a little bit of bodywork, and the reverse grids, the addition of ballast just makes for some great touring car racing.
Up the hill towards the pits he comes, Jason Plato. Really, really happy about it, and well, I think there are going to be some more celebrations with Seat. We'll just see if we can try and have a quick word with him. Ben calling Jason. Jason, can you hear us from the commentary box? That was a brilliant race. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you very much. I thought we were going to get nobbled on the safety car again then, but it all seemed to work out. Great result for the team.
Well, congratulations, and maybe you can do it again later on.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, it's hard around here with the weight on the car, so we'll see. We're in the best possible position anyway.
Well, once again then, Seat have taken on Vauxhall, MG and Honda, and they've emerged as victorious, and that is Jason Plato's 5th win of the season. He has now won more races than anybody else this year, and that's pretty impressive when you consider that this is Seat's first season in British touring cars. So Plato the winner, Matt Neal in 2nd place, Dan Eves finished in 3rd, Ivan Muller finished 4th ahead of Luke Hines and Rob Huff. Anthony Reid was 7th, Sean Watson-Smith in 8th, James Kay was 9th, and Jason Hughes scored the final point for 10th place. Disappointment, of course, though, for James Thompson, and Ivan Muller scoring 8 points for that 4th place finish. Now moves 7 points ahead in the championship.
That's the biggest gap there's been in the whole of this championship, believe it or not. Muller and Thompson have not been separated by more than 5 points the whole year. So in relative terms, that's a comfortable lead for Muller.
Well, we're going to be live back at Knockhill at 4 o'clock this afternoon, but we've got Speed Sunday on before that with Jason Plato test driving the Audi RSQ from the new movie iRobot. That's followed at 3 p.m. by the World Rally highlights from Finland. But later on this afternoon, we'll be back here at Knockhill with all of the action from race 3 of the day. So we're looking forward to that. Can Jason Plato do it again? Join us then. From Vicky Butler-Henderson, from Tim Harvey and myself, Ben Edwards. We'll see you later.
Sponsored by Green Flag Motor. Dedicated to getting to you faster.
welcome back live to Knockhill in sunny Scotland. Now the cars are on the grid. They're ready to race for race 3. If you weren't with us earlier, this is what you missed.
Race 1 started with Anthony Reid making a fantastic getaway from pole position. Tom Chilton not quite so fast from second, but nonetheless going with him. Colin Turkington and James Thompson slotted in behind, but Carl Breeze and Rob Collard had a coming together that poor old James Kay ended up being the victim of. James Thompson soon moved around the outside of Tom Chilton in a daring manoeuvre to take second place, but still a little way behind Anthony Reid. The marker poles went flying as Colin Turkington tried to get in on the act, but out of the race early went Rob Huff. He tried a Thompson that was not really quite on. Thompson and Turkington were then the next two to be involved in a dice, and after a bit of nudging and nerfing coming through and out of the hairpin, Turkington was through, and it was a 1-2 for MG, although Turkington would be demoted later on for having passed under yellows. Meanwhile, further back, Jason Plato was busy working on getting 10th place out of race number 1. He did that perfectly, and therefore lined up on pole position for race 2. A great getaway from Plato saw him move ahead of Matt Neal, Rob Collard and Sean Watson-Smith, but Thompson was out of luck on the first lap. He got tagged by Tom Chilton, and the resulting bodywork and suspension damage meant he would not go much further. Also out of it was Carl Breeze with a broken wishbone. Then Anthony Reid almost ended up causing the retirement of his own teammate Turkington as he nerfed up the inside of Tom Chilton. Chilton came back with a two-wheeled act through Duffer's Dip, but still battling with Rob Huff and Luke Hines. These three youngsters were putting on quite a show. Also putting on a great show, though, was Jason Plato, the former champion, leading quite easily, and the reigning champion was moving up. He got past Rob Collard, so Ivan Muller went up into 4th. Anthony Reid and Rob Huff were side by side through the hairpin, but then it looked as though Reid missed a gear because Huff suddenly had the advantage. Chilton, meanwhile, had to retire. The damage to the front of his car was restricting the airflow, and it was Jason Plato who came through to take the second win of the day, ahead of Matt Neal and Dan Eves. Well, that was the situation earlier on, and we saw some great racing between Jason Plato and those two Hondas, and I think that they could be in extremely good shape for this third race of the afternoon. We're going to have to wait and see exactly. They will be carrying ballast, of course, 42 kilos of ballast on that Seat, but at Croft last time out, I have to say that they did a pretty good job, and Tim, I think that they could be once again very fast this third race.
No question they're getting fast. The big thing is, can Plato win off the front again with maximum ballast? This is the big test. It's uphill from that hairpin, very hard to do, but those charging through from the back with no ballast are going to make the race very exciting.
So there's a lot to watch out for, and it's going to be a very, very exciting third race to the day, I'm sure. We can just see Jason Plato lining up in his pole position on the grid, ready for the start of this third race of the day. Matt Neal, who lines up second on the grid, he carries 30 kilos of ballast, and in fact we've got the two Competition Racing with Halford's cars, second and third on the grid, carrying some ballast, but I suppose you might have to favour Dan Eves. He's not got quite as much ballast on board, having finished third in race 2. He carries an extra 18 kilos. And then we've got Ivan Muller. He starts 4th on the grid. And one to really watch out for as well will be James Thompson, to see whether he can do anything from pretty much at the back of the grid. There's one car behind him, that's Colin Turkington. Both of them will be very quick.
Absolutely. I mean, it was proved in the first race by Rob Huff that you can get from the back, so it is possible, but James is going to be trying to pass people cleanly.
Well, thousands of people at Knockhill here, all gathered to watch this third and final touring car race of the day. We can't wait. I hope you'll stay with us. We'll take a break and be back with all of the racing.
Sponsored by Green Flag Motoring Assistance. With you all the way.
You know, it helps to be posh around here, unless you own a string of polo ponies or maybe half of Yorkshire. And it's no bad thing to be posh here.
Earl of Lichfield.
Well, they don't like it if you start singing Who Ate All the Pies. But you don't have to be posh to be privileged. All you need is 4 years no claims, and Privilege will guarantee to beat your renewal quote. So, for cheaper car insurance, give Privilege a call. Or, if you're really posh, have your butler do it. Hello? Call Privilege now, or buy online at privilege.com.
he's a clean guy.
For tough cleaning, Sif. Who else?
Shaving underarms can leave them red and uncomfortable. Dove deodorant contains 1/4 moisturizing cream. Ooh! This helps skin put back what shaving takes out, leaving underarms soft and smooth.
I phoned Norwich Union Direct to quote me happy on my home insurance. Very competitive it was too. Switched immediately. Just as well. Amazing how much mess a couple of pork chops can make.
Call 0800 828 838 and let Norwich Union Direct quote you happy.
Here we go. Uncle Ben's long grain rice. Cook it with passion. Come on, add some.
Now the DVLA don't need to look here for out-of-date tax discs. They don't even need to look here or here. If your car tax is out of date or if you haven't declared your car as off the road, there's only one place the DVLA now need to look. Here. And if you aren't up to date, the database will automatically issue an £80 penalty. Here. The new car tax rules. Are you up to date?
Sponsored by Green Flag Motoring Assistance. You come first every time.
Welcome back to us live here at Knockhill, and I've got local hero John Cleland here. John, you are twice a touring car champion with Vauxhall. Your heart must be going out at the moment to James Thompson, who's not having a very good weekend.
No, he's having a torrid time. Yesterday in qualifying, he was hit quite badly up the back by Matt Neal. His engine blew and it was slowing down. I saw the car last night, and if it had been a normal road car, they'd have written it off. And the team worked all night to put it together, and they've done a good job on it. However, the rear beam is still not right, and James is, I think, in for a really tough race. He's going to have to work very hard for it.
Yeah, I think so too. Now then, rumour has it that you will be racing amongst other former touring car champions in September. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Yes, it's a Masters race. It's previous touring car champions from 1990 all the way up. Everyone we can possibly muster together, and some notable worthies that never won the championship, but we're going to get them back in anyway. And it's being held, we're all driving the same car, we're all driving Seats. It's at Donington at the end of the year, and it's just going to be the most fantastic spectacle to have probably a dozen or 13 ex-champions driving, some ex-Formula One people. It's just going to be an enormous spectacle. You've got to be there.
Now, there are going to be some clash of egos, I think. Who's going to have the biggest one?
Oh, probably Tim Harvey's got the biggest ego of anyone I know.
Fine, enough said. Well, you can see that on ITV1 in September. And now over to Ben for the start of Race 3 Live.
Thanks very much, Vicky. Yes, we'll be looking forward to that race. Any quick ripostes for us there, Tim?
Well, 2-0 today in the Porsche racing, and John's got some, is obviously a bit rusty.
OK, let's look at the lineup for this race then. Jason Plato starting from pole. He's got Matt Neal alongside him on the front row. The second row, Dan Eves and the reigning champion Ivan Muller in the Vauxhall Astra. We've got another Vauxhall up next. It's Luke Hines. He's got Rob Huff in the Seat alongside him. Then it's race 1 winner here today, Anthony Reid, and Sean Watson-Smith. They had a big dice earlier on. James Kay and Jason Hughes are next. And then we've got Rob Collard, who was out of luck with a fuel sensor in that second race. Farik Harriman's next door to him. John George in the LPG-powered Peugeot is next next up with Richard Marsh in the Honda. And then towards the back, some quick people to watch for. Tom Chilton and James Thompson, both out of luck in race 2. And on the final row, Colin Turkington. I don't think we're going to see Carl Breeze. He had a broken wishbone in race 2. I don't think they've been able to get the car back out onto the circuit. So he's missing from the back. But 3 very, very quick drivers. Tom Chilton, James Thompson and Colin Turkington, Tim, all starting from the back.
Absolutely, they are the very, very quick. We saw Thompson up into second place in the first race. Turkington finished second on the road. Chilton was third. These are 3 of the fastest guys here this weekend. And if they don't race each other too hard, they should be able to come through the grid.
But it's a tough place on which to overtake. So they're going to have to be pushing their way through fairly aggressively, I would think. It's another 22-lap race. Jason Plato, winner of 2 races at Croft last time out by doing what he has done here. That was to drop back to 10th place in the first race, ensure a great starting position for race 2. He's won that one, and he's now on pole for race 3. But he's carrying ballast, remember. That could change things as we get all ready for round 21 of the Green Flag MSA British Touring Car Championship to get underway here in Scotland. Away we go. Good start again from Jason Plato. Going with him is Matt Neal and Dan Eaves. And everybody, I think, is away cleanly from that standing start. Down towards Duffer's Dip. Plato holds the middle of the road. Matt Neal follows him through. Anthony Reid there with Rob Huff side by side behind them. And they're coming still side by side into McIntyre's. Anthony Reid on the inside, Rob Huff going around the outside of him. Great battle between those two, and it's still continuing as they come up to the chicane, but Plato's making a break. Huff over the grass, so is Reid. And those two, it always looked like something was going to happen. And Dan Eaves now making a move to try and get past his teammate. He's done it, he's into second place as Plato is getting away.
Plato's got the art of starting this Seat absolutely nailed. He's made a brilliant start every time he's been on the front row. Luke Hines on the third row backed everybody up with another poor start. He made one at Mondello, but Eaves looks to be on a mission, and so is Huff.
Yeah, here comes Rob Huff, but he's squeezed down there by Ivan Muller. Muller just eases him out to the very edge of the track, and Huff has to tuck in behind him once more. Then it's Anthony Reid and the MG. Behind him is Sean Watson-Smith. Then it's Luke Hines, and this is a good battle. James Thompson trying to get past James Kay, and Thompson's up to 10th already. That's a fantastic first lap from Thompson.
Absolutely brilliant. He took advantage of all the ongoing action in front of him. He's come up higher than Chilton from the back of the grid. A great start, and Turkington down in 15th place.
So the leaders coming through out of the chicane already. Rob Huff once again trying to get past Ivan Muller. They've got Matt Neal just holding them up a little bit. The ballast on that Honda is hurting. In the background you could just see Luke Hines getting on the grass, but here Ivan Muller lost a bit of momentum and he's now under pressure from Rob Huff. Rob Huff's got a slightly quicker straight line speed advantage, but Muller locks up side by side into the hairpin, and Muller's going to squeeze out again, and I don't think Rob Huff has got past him there, no, but he might have a chance at the next corner because he's on the inside line now, and the next corner's a right-hander, and look at that, he just pulls away, pulls past him as they come up over the hill, down into Duffer's Dip, and Huff's through.
Great driving by Huff. He cut back to the inside while we were on board with Ivan Muller, who's fighting back into McIntyre's. Side by side, Muller's put him out wide. He's going to have the advantage down through the dip and up to the chicane.
Great racing between these drivers. Rob Huff still in his first year of touring car racing, of course, coming up against the reigning champion Ivan Muller and giving as good as he gets, but so far so good. It's pretty clean. There's Thompson squeezed on the grass this time, but look, he's got past Luke Hines, and that's put him up another one into 8th place. Luke Hines won't give it to him though. He might be his teammate, but he won't make it that easy. And in fact, Hines is coming back down the inside. Reid as well. Anthony Reid dives past the Seat. Hines got past Thompson in the background. Don't know where to look next.
It's action aplenty in this year's British Touring Car Championship. This is the final race of the day. The cars at the front are the heaviest, the cars behind the lighties. They're trying to fight their way through. Reid's on a mission. He's still a championship contender. He won the first race. He wants a top 4 or even a podium this weekend.
Yeah, he's had a very consistent season. He's only had the one win. That was Croft last time out. You're looking from that MG. Look at Ivan Muller. Oh, he was so quick up there through the chicane. In 4th at the moment. Collard's off in the gravel. He might get restarted, though, as Muller defends and over the curb on the exit there. Thompson using even more grass in the background, trying to get past his younger teammate, Luke Hines. There's a stationary yellow up there. Not sure how far down the track that comes, but of course, you're not allowed to overtake where there's a yellow, and it's this area. So now they'll be able to overtake again as they exit the hairpin. And Collard, yeah, he was in the gravel, but he's coming into the pit.
Dan Eaves has been very quick in that orange Computeach with Halford's Honda all weekend here back in 2002, and he does have this circuit absolutely nailed. By contrast, his teammate Matt Neal is going backwards.
Yeah, Muller's past him, and now Reed's coming past him. And Rob Huff, everybody's barging Matt Neal out the way. Very rudely removed from what was initially third. Now he's way down the order, dropping back corner by corner, looking back from Anthony Reed's MG, looking over the boot lid, through the rear wing, and back at the Seat of Rob Huff. But it's his teammate, Huff's teammate, Jason Plato, who leads again by 1.1 seconds at the moment over Dan Eaves. But Dan Eaves is going quickly. He might be able to close up that gap. Out again.